Hearing the defendants right here today. These are the defendants, Selena G. Parson and Jay Parson. Selena says she was raised in foster care and has only recently reconnected with her mother. They all lived together, and the plaintiff offered to watch the kids instead of having them go to daycare while she and her husband worked. They contributed towards the household expenses in exchange for the plaintiff watching the kids, and never in a million years would she believe her mother would sue her in court. And quite frankly, it disgusts her. They're accused of taking advantage. The defendants have filed a countersuit for $5,000 for emotional distress.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come forward, please. Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Tanya G. and Leroy Walker, you're suing Selena G. Parson and Jay Parson, your daughter and her husband?
Yes.
For $5,000, $3,000 of it for care for their two children and $2,000 for emotional distress, which you are counterclaiming them for $5,000 in emotional distress. What is going on? Let me hear from you first, Ms. G.
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because I was freely chosen by the defendants to take care of their kids. And when I say freely chosen, I mean provide Pampers, diapers, wipes,
What does
education.
no, but I don't know what freely chosen means. Were they living with you?
No, they was living in Florida. We live in New York. They somehow got it in their mind that they're supposed to drop their kids off on me for the rest of their life, and I'm supposed to be financially, emotionally.
Why were the children dropped off in
My
New
kids
York?
were never dropped off at her, Your Honor. She volunteered. She came to our house back
In Florida?
Yes, she
Yes.
came to our house. And she came to our house for holidays. And she was like, I want to take my kids, my grandkids back to New York for 2 weeks, and then I'll bring them back. And I'll pay for their ticket and everything.
How old are the kids?
3 and 2.
That's pretty little to be away from you for 2 weeks.
2 weeks is not, that's their grandmother, you know what I mean?
Who
And
they just met?
yes,
Right.
my mother
So
hasn't
they don't
been
know her, right?
They do know her. They met her previously before.
Okay.
When I used to go up there, when I used to visit her and come down from school. And she's a manipulator, Your Honor. She's a liar. She has never taken care of my kids financially.
So according to you, she was
Ever.
supposed to have the kids for 2 weeks, or what happened
Yes.
after the 2 weeks?
She said that the tickets were too high and that she cannot pay for them to come back. So I was like, all right, Mom, it's no problem. I trust you. I know that you're going to take care of my kids.
So how long did she have them?
She had them for 4 months.
But-
and I came back in. I came back.
I don't know. Somebody had my kids for 4 months.
She never took care of them financially. I sent her money. I was sending her everything.
How'd
She
you
never
do
ca-
without your 2- and 3-year-old for 4 months? Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Yeah.
I did not agree with it. At
Yeah.
first, I told him no. My wife, we bought her tickets, her and her husband tickets, $800 for both of them to fly down to Florida and to get back home. She promised us that she was going to pay for the tickets for our kids to be back home in 1 week. 1 week turned into a month, turned into another month, and
But
then
how do you guys do, like? I'm just curious how you don't fly up and grab your kids and tell
Because
her
we
never
didn't have
again.
the money at the time, Your Honor.
Yeah.
We were going through our own issues at the time. We're young parents. We're young, and we have our kids, and
So did you end up moving back to New York?
yes, I moved back to New York.
And
I
where
decided-
did you move into when you moved?
I lived at her house, Your
How long
Honor.
were they living at your house?
He was a
I never
missionary.
moved
When she
Hold
came
on.
back, Your Honor, first of all, her oldest child, that's 3 years old, he came to live with me when he was 6 weeks old until he was 8 months old.
No, she's
Then
a
I
liar,
sent
Your
him
Honor.
back to Florida. By then, she was pregnant with a second child. Then I brought both kids back to New York. The 2-year-old has been with me for 14 months out of his 28 years on Earth.
28
And the
years,
3-year-old
28 months.
His 28 months on Earth. And the 3-year-old has been with me 24 months out of 26 months out of his 36 months here on Earth. They don't give me no money, no Pampers. They don't send nothing. They got their income tax last week. He got new chains, cars, riding around, nails done, hair done, everything done. Don't have to give me nothing for their kids.
Have you been to court?
Yes,
Yes,
Your
I
Honor.
had to
Okay.
I finally had to
Your
go
Honor.
and file for custody of the kids.
So you now have custody of the kids?
Yes, to get some
Let's back up.
assistance
Let's
from the
rewind a
state.
second. They moved back to New York and they're living with you as of what date?
November.
She
no,
just
this-
moved now.
Oh, just yeah, not
She
you.
didn't
I'm
move.
sorry.
She
I never lived with them.
I got it. She moves back.
She came in July after she came and got she came in July of 2016. Mind you, her kids had just left me after 8 months stay at my house in March 2016.
Your Honor, it was
2
Did you
months
come up
later,
with the
she
two
came
kids?
back with her
Yes,
kids.
I came back
Okay,
up
so
because
you
I
come up
wanted
with
to
stop.
relocate.
Everybody stop. You come back with the two kids in the summer of what year?
2016.
Last
16.
year, Your
All right.
Honor.
June 2016.
So she comes up, and at some point, the two of you go to court.
Because
Tell
she
me about
tricked
that.
me. She tricked me into signing my kids over to her. She said, "Oh, Selena, you know, because at the time when I started to live with her, I got a job within 2 weeks of me coming down here. I got a job and I was working over 40 hours a week, Your Honor, to get my own place, to get on my own feet. This lady lied to me. She said, Selena, they're going to stop the educational needs and everything for them if I don't get a document saying that I can sign papers for them. Come to court with me, sign this paper, and that's it. When I went to court, the judge was like, well, I really don't want to give custody to your mother because of her past history.
What's her past history?
None of her 5 kids was raised with her, Your Honor. I was raised in a foster care system since I was 5 years old, and I aged out when I was 21 years old. She never raised me. I just started reconnecting with her. I didn't need her to watch my kids. She volunteered on her own to watch my kids. I had paper.
Why were you going to court that day?
Because
So that
she said
could
she
get
needed a paper saying that she can sign papers for them to continue their educational needs and stuff like
Well,
that.
by that, do you mean government services?
Yes,
And the early intervention, Your Honor.
early intervention service, and she told me, she's like, oh, they're gonna stop services if you don't sign these papers saying that I can sign. I was like, well, why can't I just sign?
Right.
It? You know what I mean?
Right.
And she was just like, no, you gotta work this and that and that and the third. So I was like, all right, Mom,
How
whatever
old are
you
you?
say.
How old are
I'm
you?
26 right now. You know,
Are you sure it's not? Do you work outside?
I don't
She
work,
doesn't
Your Honor.
work.
I'm a
Right.
PhD
So are you
at
sure
home.
it's not that she gets more government service because she doesn't work? So it's
That's what
better
she
for her
wants.
to be
That's what
asking
she
for it
wants. That's
than
what she
if
wants.
you were to be asking for it?
I don't want to be on government services,
No,
Your
no.
Honor.
Listen.
She's the one who's
I'm having a little bit of a hard time thinking
I
that the
clear it
two
up
of
for
you
you,
aren't
Honor?
walking in there to
She's
try to
about
get
to
more
lose it.
government services and you're like totally duped. I think maybe what's going on is that there's more money coming in
For
if
her.
it's just somebody who does right.
She's doing this all because she wants money, Your
Right,
Honor. And I
but
didn't
you
know
could have
that.
stood up in that courtroom and said, "These are my children. I'm
I
going to
did, Your
provide
Honor.
them."
The honor, she still did
And
it.
it's
The
still-
judge still gave her custody. I did. I said I don't want her to have
And then you
custody.
both got in the car together.
No,
No,
I didn't get in a car with her.
We don't hang out like that.
What happened? How did you
I didn't
get there?
I took the train to the courthouse.
her?
No, separately.
My money, Your Honor. I paid for her cab. My money.
You didn't pay for my
Your
cab.
Honor,
I
she
paid
was
for my
getting.
own
She was
cab.
getting
Why
food
were
stamps.
you going to court if she was already?
Because this
I
is what-
haven't asked
Okay.
my question.
Listen.
Why were you going to court that day when, at that moment in time, did you have custody of those children?
No.
Okay, I was forced to have to go to court to get custody for them because she was getting food stamps and stuff for them in Florida. And the agreement from her was that
Everybody's got a racket going
No,
on.
can I
If you
finish
do
here?
that, if she.
she was getting stuff in
So
Florida.
she's
for them.
getting free stuff in Florida. and We
Right,
don't
and
want
the
to
kids is
jeopardize
with
her
me,
free
and the
stuff
kids
in
is with
Florida,
me.
even though she shouldn't get them because the kids are with you.
Right.
So
She
you're
wouldn't
getting
close
free
the
stuff
case.
for them in New York, and you're getting
wasn't
free stuff
getting
for them in
nothing for
Florida.
them, Your Honor. I've been
Where
paying-
are the children right now?
With me. I was never
Why
getting
are
no
the
money
children
for
with
them.
her?
No, because I have custody
Why are
of
the
them.
everybody
Your
stop
Honor.
talking. You talk. Why are the children with her?
Your Honor, I would like to explain all that. My wife skipped over a matter. When her mom came into her life, her mom got in between our relationship, convinced my wife to leave me for 6 months. 6 months, that's why I sent you my bank statements. I've been sending my wife money, countless thousands of dollars for my kids. Shoes, clothes, everything, diapers. I've been giving her money. I stayed up here for 3 months and I'm not even
We've
from
been
here.
giving her money, Your Honor.
And I have two
She
jobs.
She never took care of our kids
I
financially.
have 2 jobs, and I can't
Never.
even get back to Florida, back to my 2 jobs. I've been gone for 3
We're
months.
stuck up here in New York because of her, Your Honor.
And
She's
she
not
keep-
let.
she keeps
she's
pursuing
an
us
Did
in
you
open
go
court.
to court to get custody
Yes,
of
Your
the
Honor.
children?
The
We're
judge
still
is
in a
not.
battle.
You were still
We're
in
still
a battle because of her.
And I'm in another battle
Because
with
of
her
Your
because she said
Honor.
that I put my hands on her and I assaulted her and I punched her in the face a week ago.
No, he didn't, Your Honor.
He got custody of the kids and left the kids in the house by themselves. That's why the judge gave me the kids back.
That never
Because he
happened.
left the kids in the house by
You
themselves.
are
Did
a
she go
liar.
into court and say that? What
Yes.
she
She's
just
a
said?
liar,
I have
Your
order
Honor.
protection against him
She's
right
a
now. I'm standing
liar.
here 'cause
Did,
he put his
when
hands
you,
on
how
me.
did you know? Let's explore something. Where do you get the information that he left the 2 kids alone?
That never
Because she was
happened.
stalking
wait.
our house.
Everybody stop talking. I am asking Ms. G and only that Ms. G, where did you get that information?
Because
I'm obsessed with my outfit today from Nordstrom, and all of these pieces are from their spring arrivals, and each piece is
Only that Ms. G, where did you get that information?
Because he took the kids around her, which the kids, I had order protection against her at the time. The kids weren't supposed to be around her. I seen it
You're
on
just an
Facebook.
expert at this
Okay.
whole court thing. You have an order of protection against your own daughter?
Right,
Exactly,
right.
Your
And now
Honor.
you got an order of protection against
Right.
him.
She pulled a knife
And now
on
you
me.
got the kids.
Yes.
Right.
And now you've got the government payments.
Yep.
No, I don't get no.
Exactly,
I
Your
just
Honor.
started getting government payment, and I have text messages. I just started getting government
She's a
payments for our
liar,
kids
Your Honor.
after 3 years in January.
We've been
In
paying our
January,
own
I've been
pocket.
taking care.
She's trying to open a little
Stop
bit more.
over talking me, please.
That's what
I've been
she's trying
taking
to
care
do.
of these kids out of my
She's all about
pocket
money. She's
without a dime from them.
Stop
a dime.
it.
They're
And who
drug
took your
addicts.
shoes
They're
off?
drug
Put your shoes
addicts.
back on.
Wow.
What's that? You gonna fight her in my courtroom?
No,
I don't
my
think
feet
so.
hurt.
Oh, you're just getting comfortable in my
Yes,
courtroom?
I was getting comfortable.
Either one is offensive.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if a grandmother thinks that her grandchild is at risk because their child isn't a good parent, should that person go to court and try to fight for custody?
If they seem that the child is in bad custody, then yeah, the grandmother has a right to fight for them.
Well, but is it meddling? Is it meddling?
Meddling for the best interest of the child is still the best interest of the child.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
So you go to court
Yes.
here in New York,
Yes.
and you say, these are my children and I want them.
Yes.
And why is this happening?
It's still going on.
So no
now.
one's foisting it on her. You're trying to get your
I tried
children.
to get
You
my
end
son-
up getting custody of them.
Yes, I did.
And you get custody of them when?
I got custody of them when I came up here. It was in January.
No,
Of what
December.
year?
It was in December 9th.
yeah. And
Okay.
He got
after I
back.
got custody of them.
And then you brought them back to Florida?
No, we stayed up here for the holidays for Christmas because we had to buy our tickets.
Right.
Our tickets were supposed to leave on January 7th. In that time, Your Honor, we spent holidays with her, everything. We made up and everything. She told us that she was never going to go back to court and that we could settle this outside of court. She then said on that Monday, she then, behind our backs, went to court on us, flew my other baby father up here all the way from Kansas. I don't know how she found him. You know, found him all the way from Kansas just so he could come. I didn't even know none of this, Your Honor. You know, she's just a liar.
Wait,
She
flew
said
your
that she's
other
gonna
baby's
help me.
father. Are these both your children or they're not?
No.
She's been raising Isaiah. He's been
Can-
raising
can I speak,
Isaiah
please,
since he
Your
was
Honor?
6
After
months.
she's done.
Because my other baby father, he's a drunk. He hasn't been in Isaiah's life since the first week he was born.
Has any court ruled you incapable of being the
No,
parent?
I'm not incapable. I take care of my kids financially. I love my kids. I would never hurt my kids. I never did anything to put my kids in danger.
What did you mean when you said
She's
the
lying.
sentence in your complaint? They ended up granting co-defendant Jay full custody, comma, so I lost all the aid I just received from the court.
Because I had just got custody of kids in November.
Yeah, but
he
you don't
came
need
in
the
December.
aid from the
I'm
court.
trying to
Why
tell
is
you what
that what you're
happened.
talking about? You don't need the aid from the court if you don't have the children and they've got their children.
No,
if you
I
keep
had
saying
just
they're
got- let me-
worthless and they don't take care of their kids, why don't you let them take care of their kids and do their family thing?
They left. Your Honor, can I please explain this? What I'm trying to say to you. After 3 years of having her kids with me, I finally got custody of them in November. When I got custody of them, I was running back and forth to DSS trying to get stuff for them. In December, he came up and went to the courthouse and took custody. Went to the court, lied, said Isaiah was his father and a whole bunch of other stuff, and got custody of the kids.
That he was Isaiah's father.
Right, and then he got
Isaiah's
custody
father.
of the kids,
No,
right?
that's not, when they
Then
ask that
they left the
question,
kids
it's a
in the house by
biological.
themselves.
Stop screaming. When they ask that question, it's a biological question. It's not a, who hangs out with you question. It's not a who's raised you question. It's a very clear question, and you know that. When you say I am the father, you know that you're talking about being the biological father. Go ahead. So what did you
Then
do?
they left
You
the kids-
found the biological father in Kansas?
No, first of all, the
Stop
biological
screaming.
father lives in Missouri. My school is in Missouri. So I'm always online or whatever.
What is it? Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm always online with my school. So he tracked me down. And he said he was coming to New York and he was going to court with us.
So what happened?
He wanted me to pay his way up here. I told him I don't have money to pay your
he
way
sounds
up
like he's
here.
really going to New York on his own accord, as opposed to that you're trying to get him up here.
He shows up at court drunk. These two never showed to court that day. They were supposed to come, these loving parents here. They never showed, and the judge gave me custody of
I
the
have
kids.
a question. Where are they staying at the time?
Who's they?
Them.
They live in she has, first of all, she got an apartment when she moved out from
Did
me
you
in
have
June.
any notice that you had a court date that day? When you say it was behind your back, what does that mean?
No, she told us, like I said, Your Honor, when we got our kids back on December 9th, she said we was gonna be a family. She told me that we were gonna.
Listen up.
She said she wasn't gonna go back to court.
Look me right in the eyes. I need some honesty. Why did you let her go to court alone? Because you thought that she would be able to get more government services?
No.
Well, what did you think she was going to court for?
Services,
Stop
Your
it.
Honor.
What did you think she was going to court for?
She was going because it was another custody hearing, Your Honor. It wasn't done.
I know why she went to court, and then she got custody. Why weren't you there? Because what?
I was there the first time.
Nah, second time. Why weren't you there?
We was there the second time, Your Honor. He had got custody the third time that we were supposed to go to court, which was January 9th. She told us that she wasn't going to go back to court. My lawyer said that if she did not go back to the court, that if the petitioner didn't go,
so
that
you
the case
thought
would be
that
dropped.
she wouldn't go?
Yes, because that's what she told us.
Did you really not raise any of your 5 kids?
Yes.
My kids was in foster care, had a 22-year drug addiction. I am 10 years clean, Your Honor. I'm a PhD student, and I'm about to open up my own liquor store. They have done nothing.
That's awesome. But you don't get to raise their kids because you missed out on your own.
No,
you know
I have a text, Your Honor, when she's told me, when the text says verbatim, that she's trying to let me raise her kids so I can redeem myself for not raising her. I don't want to raise her kids. I want to party. I want to hang out, and I want to live life.
Can I ask you, then why don't you? Why did you go to court and fight for custody of the
Because
kids?
she wants her kids in the foster care system like they grew up in the foster care system.
Nobody was talking about putting those kids in foster care.
Second of all, her kids were eating out the garbage when me and my husband got them. He could testify to that. They were barefooted. They didn't have nothing. I had her oldest child since he was 6 weeks old.
Tell
a
me
little tiny
exactly
baby.
what did you just say?
I spent thousands of dollars on my kids.
My kids have never been homeless.
You stop talking.
We
and I have a question
always
of you.
provided for our kids.
Right now, what is going on with custody?
Right now, custody, we're still in a battle. We don't have any more money to buy lawyers and then make things go our way in the courtroom.
Lawyers, so you gotta pay lawyers.
You know what I mean.
But there's a pro se desk in family court. You're in family court.
Yes,
right?
Your Honor. I haven't had a good lawyer, and it's like this is like ridiculous. Like she's getting me on in through. Like I don't know what to do with her. She's very sick. She's a sick individual.
Drug addicts, Your Honor. That's part of the
She's
reason
a
why they
drug
miss court
addict.
dates. They don't give up no money for their kids, and they haven't been there in the kids' life. I'm the one who got them into early intervention.
You know what,
What
Miss
about
Jean?
all of that before January?
This
They have
belongs
given me nothing for their
belongs in the
kids.
family court because it's the family court that's hearing all the evidence of who's motivated by what. Okay? I have some very strong suggestions for you. I suggest you go to legal aid and try to see if you can get somebody to represent you and have that lawyer file, either free or sliding scale, okay? I suggest that when you go in there, you have all your ducks in a row in terms of any phone calls, texts, anything, any efforts that you have made that you can prove outside of everybody screaming of the efforts that you've made to get your children, okay? Because you're still your children. Your parental rights weren't terminated, right, guys?
No, because we never abused our kids or neglected them.
Okay. And I suggest that if you folks feel that they're unfit parents, that you have, put your hand out. You're not even related to her, right?
No, he's not.
I know.
Even
I got
in
it.
the
I got
picture.
it. I got it. I suggest that you have proof besides your flapping gums of any drug addiction and any he left the kids alone and all the things that you're saying.
Exactly.
I suggest that you have some proof of it besides just flapping gums. Okay? So I am dismissing this. As for, there's one part of it I'm not dismissing. The emotional distress that everybody's suing for, you're not entitled to it. That is not, you don't get to pad your case to be twice as much by emotional distress. So your lawsuit against her is dismissed, and your $2,000 of your lawsuit against her for emotional distress is dismissed. What remains, but not in front of me, is that you claim a right to child support from them, and it sounds to me like that judge already told you you don't have entitlement to it, but you could go ahead and bring it up with that judge. That's my verdict, and I wish you all good luck. And I certainly hope that these children don't end up becoming a pawn. She can walk out, I don't care. She can walk out, I welcome it.
Not for me.
I hope
She's
that
using
these
me.
children
She
do
manipulated
not
me.
become, because I hope that everybody here actually loves those children, right?
I love my kids
Because right
to
now
death.
they're little, and right now they may not remember this, but I'm telling you they'll